Hello and welcome to week 5 of Education 107 Part 2. So we are starting to wrap things up. I hope the evaluations are going well. I hope you have found some useful information and can make some good recommendations for yourself, for your program, or for your clients. So today we're going to briefly talk about the kinds of evaluations that you can perform, as well as some evaluation models that I recommend based on our course and our condensed time frame. And then our upcoming assignment for the week as we begin to wrap things up. Let's get started. So, kinds of evaluation. So, for the sake of this course, we're going to focus on five types of evaluations: developmental, formative, summative, outcome, and performance measurement. So, the developmental evaluation, you can find it in your textbook on page 18. Patton introduced this term of developmental evaluation to describe long term partnering relationships with clients or programs who are engaged in the ongoing program development. So, this is an evaluation that you would conduct. With someone who is going to be also performing the evaluation, but they're also looking at long-term improvement to a program, not just a one-time fix, not just a short kind of like a result-oriented evaluation. They're really looking at something where they can continually develop and improve their program as they are conducting these evaluations and processes. So a formative evaluation, also found on page 18. So this was introduced by Scriven, who coined the terms formative and summative as a way to describe the evaluation's main purpose or functions. So this type of evaluation is typically conducted for the purpose or the purpose of program or product improvement by internal staff. So if you're conducting this evaluation for your own program, you are the employee, you are conducting this for your organization, you can look at performing this type of evaluation. So a little bit more detail, again, please take a look at page 18 in your text. A summative evaluation is implemented to determine the worth, the value of the evaluand, what is being evaluated. This leads to a final evaluation judgment. Is this performing up to this particular standard that we have set for it? Now, this is conducted at the completion of a program. So let's say you have a 6-week program and at the end you want to measure the results. This is something that a summative evaluation would be helpful with. And you typically will send this to an external audience, like an external stakeholder, an external donor, someone who is outside of the scope of your organization. Outcome evaluation, on page 20 in your text. So, an outcome measurement is the process and set of procedures for assessing on a regular basis the result of an agency's program for its participants. What is this program doing to assist those who are participating in the program? Is it helpful? Is it providing them with the outcomes they have anticipated, they have hoped for, they have planned for in terms of this actual program outcome? Now, this seeks to gauge the extent of an success in achieving the specific outcome. So, if you're looking to see if your 6-week program, if your after school program is hitting the mark in terms of what you have measured or anticipated or assumed it would perform, this is the type of evaluation that could be helpful for your organization. Performance measurement. A system for assessing the performance development interventions, partnerships, or policy reforms to what is planned in terms of the achievement of outputs and outcomes. So, this is what you're going to use in terms of, is your program performing up to the standard in which you have put out? Is it relative in terms of what has been planned in terms of the achievement of outputs and outcomes? So, for example, when I have performed a performance measurement evaluation, I measure the outcomes of a training program in terms of if the staff was meeting the criteria and the expectations set before them. If they were not, what was the gap in the training that did not allow the staff to achieve the expected outcomes that the organization had for them? That is how I have used a performance management in the past. You can find additional details on that on page 21. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about evaluation models. So the first one is a customer oriented approach or consumer oriented. So what you're doing is that you're really starting from the perspective of the user, the end user. So whether this end user is going to be an employee going through a training program, whether it's a student participating in an after school program, you want to really start from that perspective. So it was really originally designed to help consumers choose among competing programs or products by providing information that could actually help consumers in the purchase or adoption of a program process. So take a look at this one. If you're really focused on helping an employee, if you're really focused on helping a student, I would highly suggest this model. So please take a look at page 53 for additional details. Participatory or collaborative evaluation. This is an emphasis that you're really going to be doing in conjunction with a collective group. So whether it's community members, whether it is a group of teachers, whether it is in conjunction with administrative staff, in conjunction with teachers, this is something that's going to be done together. And then it's really something that can be shared out to the organization to make a decision. So whether this decision is really based around continuing a program, expanding a program, or closing a program down, this type of evaluation can be really helpful in terms of making those determinations. So for additional details on this model, please take a look at page 55. So the final one I would suggest considering for your project would be the evaluation and organizational learning. So organizational learning occurs when individuals inquire about a situation on the organization's behalf. Now, organizational learning is the development of insights, knowledge, associations between past actions and the effectiveness of those actions and future actions. So, as we look at organizational learning, we really want to consider, is this actually helping our organization drive towards its 5-year strategic plan? Are the actions, the training programs we're putting in place, building the competencies and the capabilities of leaders in driving towards our strategic mission? So these are the type of things you can consider if you want to use, if you're looking at if a training program is actually helping an organization become successful. Is a training program actually helping your frontline leader, your individual contributor, do their job better? This is a type of evaluation that you can perform. I found this to be the most useful in my professional work. So I continually go back to this evaluation model. I find it helpful, useful, and it does not take a lot of time to actually use this model to get the positive results you needed to support your organization and to support your teams. If you would really like to take a look deeper at this one, please look at page 57 to get a few more details about this evaluation model. So your upcoming assignment for this week will be drafts of parts 2 and 3. So please use the outline that is available. This will help you to ensure that you're hitting all the points that are required for this assignment. And remember that the draft is not graded. I will get feedback to you as quickly as possible so that you can incorporate that if needed into your final draft. And then we will be able to start wrapping up the course. So good luck completing your drafts of parts 2 and 3. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at john.wedding@csus.edu. Thank you very much.